I am an experienced full stack web developer and recently I launched my new product, generateanimatedmap.com. This is not just a small demo, it has a real backend so users can see only their own maps, edit and manage their maps. Managed uploaded media, sign up with email, and also use Google Authentication. I use different AI tools, different AI models, and spec-driven development. In this video, I'll share with you the full timeline and the whole process of how I managed to build and launch this project. Everything was done according to good practices, and the product actually works. I also integrated Polar. It's a merchant of record service, similar in experience to Stripe, and it works really well for my case. It's for payment. On the front end, there is also some complex logic because the core feature is generating animated maps and it's quite complex. So first of all, I used Codex Plus. Yes, I don't even have the Pro subscription because Plus is totally enough for this kind of work, and I'll also show you that Chinese models can be really good and much cheaper. Anyway, I started with Codex Plus using maximum reasoning. I asked ChatGPT to create a specification for my project based on my draft and to ask follow-up questions to clarify all the details. It looked like this. I spent around 2 days on the specification requirements file, but not full days, just evenings after my main job. The first evening was for generating the spec and answering all the clarification questions. The second evening was for manually verifying it and fixing some mistakes after AI. Also, on the second evening, I started implementing the project using cheap DeepSeek. I downloaded the CLI tool to run DeepSeek and used the balance I already had there, around $50 from another project I built some time ago. I decided to use DeepSeek here because I ran out of my Codex Plus limits and I was pretty sure DeepSeek could handle these tasks. There was nothing extremely complex at that stage. The spec already contained clear requirements, so any experienced developer or even a cheap AI agent should be able to implement the project based on this specification. And I was right. During the next 2 days, I implemented all the features according to the requirements file. I asked DeepSeek to implement the features described in the spec, but step by step. This was important because I wanted to verify each feature gradually by myself and adjust the AI agent if it got confused somewhere. The stack I used was React with Next.js and Supabase and Polar. Polar is a third-party merchant of record service. It's for payment, like Stripe. I use it because I live in Armenia and Stripe doesn't operate directly in this country. But with Polar, I can still accept payments, and from the developer experience side, it feels really similar to Stripe. I also enabled and set up Google Authentication and email authentication as well. And of course, being a senior full stack developer, I was already very familiar with all these technologies and tools. For me, it was easy to write a strong prompt, create a clean specification, verify the implemented solutions, and fix things after AI when needed. After 2 days, I realized that I didn't want to run this project as a prompt-based generator. Yes, I started with this idea, but then I decided to launch the MVP with a more direct flow. Now users simply draw a line where they need it, they pick an image for an object, select the map and styles, draw one line, and they are ready to go. They can export the map or actually any animated picture with a path as an MP4 file and use it in their videos. So there was a small pivot, and it took around 1 or 2 days to apply all the needed changes to the project. Then I spent almost a whole day retesting everything, deploying the project to a real domain, setting up the VPS, setting up PM2, so the project automatically restarts if the server accidentally shuts down, configuring Nginx and adding the SSL certificate for my domain. I also generated many preset objects with ChatGPT, so now users have many royalty-free objects inside the product. I also fine-tuned the animation settings for these objects. So in total, my product was ready in about 1 week. Later, I recorded this video, and now I'm going to create a blog page with different articles and videos to attract people. This part is more about SEO, content management, and maybe marketing. I also want to share the marketing side with you because this project itself is ready. You can test it, become my client, or even become my partner and attract customers to my service. I have a referral partnership program, so reach out to me on any social platform and we'll discuss the details. Also, if you want to buy this kind of service from me, I provide it. I'll be happy to help you with your SaaS product. I can work for you as a freelancer, but only with fixed price projects. I don't sell my hours. I can build a product for you from scratch, verify your code, integrate payment services like Stripe or Polar, set up Supabase and Google Auth, or create a clean requirements file for your project. I'm actually open to different services. I really want to help you. That's all. So, to sum up, I spent around 6 or 7 days in total. Of course, most of the focused work was during the weekend. On other days, I didn't spend full days on this project because of my work. So, yes, it took 1 week in total, but without the pivot and with full focus, I could probably do it even faster. But to be honest, there is no need to rush too much because after the launch, there is still a lot of work on marketing and polishing the product. My product is still raw in many places, but anyway, it's a good start. Now, let's talk about costs. I used Codex Plus, which costs $50 per month. Then I spent less than $1 in total from my DeepSeek account. This is incredible. I managed to build the whole project without serious limits and spent less than $1 on DeepSeek in total. That's amazing. Compared to ChatGPT, the price difference is just insane. And as a developer, I can clearly see that my tasks were extremely clear, so there were no serious issues where DeepSeek really let me down. It worked really well. For this project, I honestly didn't see a big difference between ChatGPT and DeepSeek for implementation tasks, but the difference in cost is huge. 100%. I also worked with Claude on my main job, and sometimes it takes too much time to think. For me, it can be annoying. DeepSeek was very fast. The only downside I noticed was that sometimes I saw Chinese symbols in the output, but then I told DeepSeek not to use Chinese and to use only English, and it worked. Also, I noticed that for generating presets, ChatGPT is much better, and I didn't use DeepSeek for generating my presets. I'm also gonna try Gemini later, but right now I just don't have enough time. So now I'll continue working on marketing. I have different ideas and different hypotheses about how to attract customers. Like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to follow my progress, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.